people. So, we're here to ask the important questions today while the sun is at its peak of brightness. We're here to ask the important questions. You know, the questions that lingers on all people's minds, which is, you know, we're here to ask the lingering philosophical questions that keeps one up at night, which is how does someone who is low IQ, how does someone low IQ, impoverished, and unemployed such as myself find my place in this new future where even if you make it past Amazon's background check and drug screening, you might end up being in one of the rounds of layoffs, one of the many rounds of layoffs making their way around from UPS to Amazon. 46,000 people laid off recently. So we're here to ask the lingering questions, which is, you've tried to, you've tried to, you've tried your hand at having fun on the internet, but then you realize that you're disagreeable, such as myself. You realize that you're disagreeable and that you're not very photogenic. You realize that you're not photogenic, and you realize that you're not quite socialized like everyone else. These are the boxes that you have to check when going over the prerequisite list to determine if you need to start burger flipper maxing. And I came to the realization that what I need to do is I need to be burger flipper maxing. And some people will tell you that you should do anything but burger flip max. And I'm here to tell you that they're lying to you. I'm here to tell you that you're being lied to by the naysayers, by the burger flip minimizers, the burger flipping minimizers. There's a lot of people out there on social media recently telling you not to go to work. There's a lot of unemployment maxing propaganda out there, but I'm here to steer you in the right direction. I'm here to bring you to the burger flip maxing promised land, where we will be flipping burgers in unison in burger flipping hall. The promised land to all burger flippers that engage in burger flipper maxing. There's a lot of pro unemployment propaganda out there right now, but I'm here to tell you why. If people don't treat you with common decency, on the internet, if you are unable to, socialize like the average person socializes, then let me tell you something. You'll gain all of the social skills you need if you start burger flipper maxing. You got to get in while the burger flipper maxing is good, because you never know when the burger flipping gravy train is going to come to an abrupt end. I mean, who thought that we would wake up one morning and read news headlines saying that Jeff Bezos fired 16,000 Amazon employees abruptly. That's not an insignificant number of Amazon employees that got abruptly fired, along with the 30,000 UPS employees. Remember when UPS was telling you that they're the post office but better, and then they fired 30,000 people in response to Amazon firing 16,000 people. So this just goes to show you that no one has the right answer, unless they're telling. Because here's the thing: like, say you find a way to get a job at a data center or something like that. How long until they find a way to labor cost reduce your position and get rid of you for whatever reason? So there's really no wrong answers when it comes to career choice nowadays, because we have re-entered uncertain times that don't make college viable. I mean, we were in a relative era where we were in a relative era of certainty in the past compared to now, where it would be more viable to say, like, yeah, sure, go become a lawyer or go dabble in getting IT certifications or something like that. But I would say, unless you're trying to get into something like a data center, those are the only things that seem like they're for sure going to be feeding an endless amount of people with certifications into labor centers to keep those running, or data centers. I call them labor centers, into data centers. But I mean, unless you're looking to get like an IT certification to get a job at a data center, I mean, I wouldn't be trying to dabble in being an artist nowadays. I wouldn't be trying to dabble in trying to be a social media influencer. You see how trying to run a YouTube channel is going for someone like me. So I would say unless you're getting an IT certification or something like that to try to get a job at a data center, I wouldn't have the faintest idea where you should begin nowadays, especially if you have the background check issues that I have, if you have the background check issues that I have, if you have the not being socialized to today's standards issues that I have, where like, I swear to God, this happens to me more often than you'd think. Like, there's so many people that are used to not communicating with proper sentence structure and proper grammar, me being one of them. I mean, I could go on about this forever, but like, if you're not socialized right and you have a hard time getting along in the workplace because of your socialization or whatever, and if you have a hard time getting anywhere in the workplace because of your background and you don't know where to go, I would say burger flip, max. I would say construction might not even be as safe as people think it is, because once they refine being able to cure 3D printed homes, that's going to mess a lot of things up. I would say that construction is not as safe as people think it is of a career, for a lot of reasons. So you're probably better off burger flipper maxing, regardless of how poor that makes you, regardless of how much of a working homeless person that makes you. I would say you're probably better off burger flipper maxing, because no one's going to respect you anyway. So if no one's going to respect you anyway, why not do it? Why not do it? If no one's going to respect you anyway, why not just flip burgers for a living? Everyone, everyone's gonna call me ugly, regardless of whether or not I'm flipping burgers or not. Uh, no one's gonna treat me with kindness or common decency, regardless of whether I'm flipping burgers or not. So, why not? Why not just burger flip max again? I don't know why I stopped doing it in the first place. I don't know why I stopped a burger flip maxing in the first place. But here's the thing: unemployment maxing is going to get me nowhere. Unemployment maxing is going to get me nowhere. Not a fan of being unemployed, not a fan of being homeless. Uh, but I'm not going to be respected no matter what I do. It literally doesn't matter what I do. No one's going to respect me or treat me with common decency. So why not just flip burgers for a living? It's not that hard to enter the day working at a burger flipping establishment. So who cares? I don't get treated with respect anyway. So now maybe a year down the road, maybe a year or two down the road, I'll look into getting a job at a data center or something. But sure, that's not easy to break into at the age of 30 as everyone acts like it is. But yeah, maybe a couple years down the road, I'll look into getting a job at a data center. Maybe a year or two down the road when things are different. But right now, I don't see any reason not to work at a burger flipping establishment is really the thing. You have to start burger flipper maxing if you're in my situation. Because, and here's the thing, you have to stay put at the same burger establishment, okay? You have to stay put and flip burgers at the same burger establishment until you get a pension. You have to aim for the burger flipping pension now, and that's something they don't hand over willingly or easily, but that's where you start walking the burger flip maxing tightrope is the securing a pension thing. But it's true, you have to secure the burger flipping retirement plan, which is where a lot of people get lost. A lot of people get lost and they don't secure the burger flipping retirement plan, and you have to secure the burger flipping retirement plan. That's a crucial step that people overlook. You need to secure the burger flipping retirement plan. Otherwise, it defeats the purpose of being a burger flip maxer. If you don't secure the burger flip maxing retirement plan, it defeats the purpose of being a burger flip maxer, because a lot of these people that are running around giving people advice on, oh, you should do this, oh, you should do that, this is where they go wrong. Okay, people who tell you to jump from this to that, or that to this, or this to that, or whatever, they're missing the crucial part of the process, which is you have to stay at the same place for a lot of financially beneficial reasons. But this is a lost art on a lot of people nowadays when it comes to talking about how to navigate employment, which is you have to stay at the same place for a while for a lot of reasons, for credit reasons, for renting reasons, and a lot of your average lay people that would be willing to talk to someone like me don't know things like this. This may seem like common sense to you, but a lot of people are quick to are quick to normalize jumping from one place to another, and you don't want to get that in your head. You know, I fell victim to people's normalization of job hopping, and you don't want to normalize job hopping because there are benefits to staying in the same place. You know, people will be more likely to lend you money, and that's really important. You're more likely to get loans and things like that. Um, you're more likely to get loans and stuff if you stay at the same job for many years. You are more likely to get loans. You're more likely to get lines of credit, and those in and of themselves are ways to make money. So don't. If you have someone in your social circle that is normalizing job hopping, just realize that is not a beneficial thing, no matter what anyone says. And you, as an average layperson, if you've had the workplace experiences that I've had, which is, you know, a lot of clocking in and out and not a lot of explaining what is actually available for the employee, then you're going to want to pay attention, possibly even take notes. But that was some of my explanation on what burger flip maxing is. So what burger flip maxing is it is a way to shut down the endless conversation, because I spent years listening to people tell me, you know, get into this, get into that, and if I would have just been flipping burgers at a place this entire time, I would have been better off than trying to do this and that, trying to get this certification and that certification. All that did was ensure that I'm not ever going to have pensions or a pension. All that ensured was that I'm never going to have a built-up retirement plan unless I do a 401k, which I've started having to do on my own, or not a 401k, an IRA. Unless you're doing an IRA on your own on the side, which I guarantee you most people in my situation aren't, you're not building any form of retirement plan right now. You're not putting any money towards your retirement. If you've been job hopping like me since you got out of high school, and if you haven't been putting money into some form of retirement on the side the entire time, then you're not building anything for your retirement. So this is where a lot of people are steering you wrong, and this is why we need to burger flip max, because all of the people steering us in 100 different directions that aren't making our income actually go up. See, okay, here's another thing. I guarantee you there's a lot of people in this situation like me where you have people steering you in 100 different directions and none of them are productive. This is what you should realize. If you would have been holding down a job at the same place, you would have been a lot better off than if you would have been job hopping. That's really all you need to get out of that. Is there are many reasons, if you're like me, why it would have been beneficial if you were just flipping burgers in the same spot this entire time, as opposed to job hopping endlessly. So don't let people get it in your head that it's good to jump from this job to that job. Don't normalize being transient. That's one of the key tenets of burger flip maxing, is do not normalize job hopping. We don't want to job hop. We want stability. You know, we want a routine. We want stability. We want to grow with we want to grow without having to endlessly transiently job hop. That is one of the key tenets of burger flip maxing, because it is more beneficial, regardless of what the world is trying to make happen, for us to stay put and flip burgers, as opposed to endlessly job hop. We shouldn't, our promotions or raises, our hourly raises should not be coming from job hopping. That is unproductive. It is bad for our future, and we want to cease this lifestyle. You know, we want a we want a simple life where we climb the burger flipping pyramid over years, as opposed to a transient life where, because we're going to be poor and disrespected anyway. So, we want to establish roots somewhere. That is what the burger flip maxers seek to accomplish. And we are few, but we are wise. The burger flip maxers, the burger flip maxers are few, but we are wise. And we preach the tenets of burger flip maxing to try to make the world a better place. It's thankless work being a burger flip maxer, but all of the work that I've ever done in my life has been thankless. So what else is new? I can count the amount of thank yous that I've received for anything that I've done that were genuine on my hand. That's another thing that you have to get used to if you seek to flip the berg. If you seek to flip the berg, if you seek to become one with the berg, if you seek to be a true burger flip master, if you seek to become one with the Hamburg, you have to learn the key tenets of burger flip maxing so that you can spread the gospel. We need preachers of the burger flip maxing lifestyle so that we can save others from the negative, or from the dark path that they are on. So the burger flip maxing life is a stressful one, don't get me wrong, but here's the thing: your life's going to be stressful anyway, because we're unattractive and we're poor, and people don't show us common decency. So we have to rise above this and live a life that is one where we realize that, in a way, we can have some amount of control over our emotional state. That is another core tenet of burger flipping mastery, is you have to achieve burger flip maxing zen. You need to make your primary focus being one with the hamburger and achieving burger flip maxing zen, which is, you need to just simply not listen to the nonsense that people tell you, such as, you need to get a better job, or you need to get a real job, or, because we've tried that. We've tried to go here, there, everywhere, but flipping the berg is what we were meant to do. It's our destiny. Burger flipping is our destiny, and if people can't respect that we are the chosen few burger flippers that will burger flip until there are no more burgers to flip, That we just need to tune them out. If they can't understand what it means to burger flip max, then we just need to simply tune them out and ignore them. They're ignorant. They're ignorant to what it means to be a burger flip master. They don't. They don't understand that we seek basic things. We seek a roof over our head. We seek to be paid the standard of living. And a lot of people don't get that. A lot of people don't understand the path that a burger flipping master walks. They don't understand the long, hard road that a burger flipping master truly walks. They don't. They don't know what it means to keep the fast food dream alive. They don't understand what it is to wake up day in and day out and live the movie Groundhog Day, but with burger flipping for not enough money to survive and to go home to the home you don't own. They don't know what it means to be a working homeless burger flipper. They say put the fries in the bag, but they don't realize that they're being called to put the fries in the bag themselves. They don't understand. They don't understand that they're being called to put the fries in the bag. They're not calling others to put the fries in the bag. They're being called to put the fries in the bag. They don't understand. They don't understand that you could be the best VR boxer in the world, and one day the grill and spatula will call on you to the burgers so that you can flip the burgers. These are things they don't understand. They don't one day you're telling people to put the fries in the bag, and the next day you're putting the fries in the bag yourself, because the bag calls everyone to put fries in it eventually. It doesn't matter how far above you think you are putting the fries in the bag. One day you're going to be called to get the frozen french fries from the freezer and to put them in the basket, and then to put the basket in the oil and to hit the button. These are things people are not wise enough to understand when they make their little jokes, when they disrespect others that have never had anything. People think that it's okay to be needlessly cruel to others. People think that it's all fun and games. People thought that we could behave like this for years and years, and that there would be no long-term repercussions, but there obviously have been long-term negative repercussions on the world for the way that the internet denizens have behaved. And I'm happy to sit here and say that I told you so. I'm happy to be here to say that I told you so. Because I was one of the people. I was one of the people that told you so. When it comes to saying that living like this long term would have long term repercussions on the world. And, you know, it's going to be good to sit back and watch from the burger flipping maxing stands. You know, it's going to be good to watch from the burger flip maxing stands the continual long-term repercussions of the path that we have decided to continue down as a world. It's going to be good to continue to sit back from the burger flip maxing throne and watch all of you people who ignored me, and watch all of you people who don't interact with me, who show up and don't actually talk in my chat, or, you know, it's going to be good to watch the world that's ignored me this whole time continue to suffer from its over-socialization. I'm having a good time. And those of you who seek to avoid the repercussions of your sins, you need do nothing more than withdraw from your wicked social media ways and join the burger flip maxing order. You know, if you come over here to the right side of history, you can be insulated from all of the nonsense and negativity that others are spreading. Over here, there's none of the nonsense and negativity that is going on elsewhere. This is a respite and a safe haven from the errors and sins that the world is committing. Over here, there is no unproductive nonsense going on. You may think that your lifetime of nonsense is going to lead to good things, but I can assure you that it's not. I can assure you that you are walking down a path that is unproductive, a path that is harming yourself and your family's future. And if you disconnect from all of the sinful nonsense that your cultures engage in, you might stand a chance at reversing the tide of unproductive negativity that is consuming the world. But knowing you guys, you'll never change your wicked ways. It is what it is, but I've definitively proven that I am stronger and wiser than you. And I know that's something that you have a hard time accepting, but the simple fact of the matter is that I am stronger and wiser than you. And ignoring me isn't going to do anything about it. Subjecting me to this life of isolation and showing me nothing but your sinful, wicked negativity is not going to change the fact that I'm stronger and wiser than you. It's it's not going to change the fact that I've proven that I'm stronger and wiser than you. But you can continue down your evil, sinful path of ignoring me and showing me nothing but negativity. But that's not going to change what my fists do to your faces in VR boxing all the time. No, it will not. And I know you don't like to hear that, but that's the simple fact of the matter. So, I'll be here. You can keep rewarding others simply for turning a stream on with money and attention. Um, you can do that. You can do that. You can subject me to a life of burger flip maxing while you reward others simply for turning a stream on. But the fact of the matter is that I've proven that I'm stronger and wiser than you. When my fists make contact with your faces in VR boxing by the thousands, I've proven that I'm stronger and wiser than you. So you're probably better off asking me questions or interacting with me or rewarding me for turning a stream on so I don't have to work. Or you can keep rewarding junkies. You can keep rewarding people who encourage you to live a lifestyle that has a detriment to the greater world, negative impact on the greater world. You know, people like Saint 10, the Freemason, the youngest member of the Scottish Rite, as he said, that is alive. So you can keep rewarding people like Saint 10 for spreading negativity and evil, encouraging people to be rude to others. But the simple fact of the matter is that doesn't change what happens when my fists meet your faces in VR boxing by the thousands, which is I knock you guys the fuck out. I mean, that's what happens when you put the VR headset on and you guys box me in VR boxing. I've given you ample opportunity to prove me wrong in sparring IRL on live stream, but it would appear that I'm correct when I say that I am stronger and wiser than all of you, factoring that I've beaten thousands of you in VR boxing. So you can keep being evil and wicked to me. You can keep stalking and harassing me. But the simple fact of the matter is that I've proven that I am more worthy to be a recipient of attention and monetary gain simply for having a stream on, as opposed to the junkies that you reward and condone so they can gaslight you and tell you that there's no net positive on society for continuing to engage in your wicked, evil cultures that have a net negative impact on society. I'll be over here being stronger and wiser than all of you. You can continue to ignore me and not show me the attention and monetary gain that I deserve simply for having a stream on if you're in the monetarily rewarding people with attention and money just for having a stream on business. But that's not going to have a positive impact on society in any way, shape, or form. And your piddly little charity work that you motherfuckers do, you know for a damn fact that it doesn't change the world in any meaningful way. And I know that because it hasn't. Your charity work hasn't helped me out in any way. Okay, Saint 10 in your audience, your charity work hasn't helped me out in any way. But you're not going to talk to me because you already know what's up, and you already know you're never going to spar me on stream in a million years because I'll beat you and what's it called, Chicken Andy. But that's a discussion that's not going to go anywhere either. Was just mentioning that because I was talking about the people who swatted me and people who get monetary reward just for having a stream on that they don't deserve or earn because they don't have half of an ounce of talent or comedic ability. But that's an unproductive conversation that hardly even bears speaking or dedicating energy to. The simple fact of the matter is that the lack of concurrent viewership alone should speak as to why you are better off disconnecting and burger flip maxing, because that is the only way that someone like you, if you are anything like me, is going to have a stable source of income. okay, is to disconnect from all of these wicked people on the internet, because nothing they say is productive. I can assure you, for how smart these people think they are, they have been unable to counsel me in any way that has helped me anything pertaining to my employment situation, pertaining to figuring out a way to make enough money. All of these supposed bright minds of the internet have done nothing but foster unproductive conversations with me throughout the years of seeking their counsel and advice on how to get anywhere in anything. So if these people were half as smart as they claim they are, they would be able to answer my question about how a person in my situation does anything. Okay? So that's just the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is you're just better off being alone and flipping burgers alone, because no one's going to show you any respect or listen to you anyway. So there's all these hideous, deformed people with nothing to say that have audiences out there. I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's all a joke. And paying it no mind is the best thing to do. Paying it no mind and just punching them in the face when you see them, like I do, or when you get an opportunity to, like I do, is really all you can do. All you can do is just violently strike these people when the opportunity presents itself in a way that gives you no legal repercussion. That's really the only thing you should do. Is just burger flip max, and then when you get the opportunity to legally inflict violence on these people, legally inflict violence on them. That's really the only options you have left. Because these people have no common decency, no sense of community. Their sense of charity is bullshit. You know, these people are just fake on all fronts, and the only option you have left, if you're a person in my shoes, is to be as happy as you can be with what you have. You know, I'm not saying it's easy to be happy with being alone and having nothing and being ignored. But, you know, these people are clearly liars. Interacting with them is pointless. It's pointless to interact with these people, no matter how lonely that makes you. I'd rather be lonely than lied to. So your only options are to be alone, because it's better to be alone than be lied to by these people. Enjoy what you have, which I'm not saying it's easy to enjoy what you have, and then violently strike against these people when the opportunity presents itself. You know, I mean, when you see an opportunity to inflict violence on these people in a way that does not cause you any legal repercussion, do it. I'm talking about like what I do, like VR boxing. You know, like VR boxing. That is my opportunity to violently strike against these people in a way that has no legal repercussions. So that's really what you should do. Because I don't even have people chilling here with me. when I turn the live stream on, and I've earned it. I've been here for years. I became the best VR boxer in the world, made YouTube shorts that got a little bit of attention. So I wholeheartedly have earned an audience to chat with. I've earned it. I don't have to sit here and talk to myself endlessly to garner one, but I have most certainly earned at least one person going back and forth with me here. I've earned at least one. Earned at least one person going back and forth with me when I turn a live stream on, and I don't have it because this world is evil. And that's all you need to know. This is proof that the world lacks equality and basic fairness. And that's all you need to know. There's not one person. I've been here for years, and I've never had one consistent chatter. I've only had people coming by and spreading their negativity and evil. And that's why I'm being serious when I tell you that the only thing there is for you to do is to make life as enjoyable as you can for yourself. And then when you get an opportunity to violently strike against these people in a way that is legal repercussion free, you do it. Because they don't deserve mercy. I mean, these people don't deserve mercy. These are evil, uncaring people that don't deserve mercy. So when you get a chance to legally commit violence against these people in a way that is repercussion free, talking about like a sport like boxing or something like that, or MMA, boxing, MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, folk style, take it. Hurt them so they, associate fire with hot. That's really all there is to it. Just make them remember that fire is hot. And they don't deserve anything less than that, really. They don't deserve anything less than that, I can tell you that. I don't have better news for you. Those are your options. It won't improve on its own. It hasn't. AI didn't make anything better, did it? So we've confirmed that it's not going to get better on its own, and that the only remedy is action. But that's the reality of the situation. But it's not something that you need to lose your freedom over. Don't lose your freedom over it. Just buy your time by flipping burgers, and then when you have moments, defeat thousands of people in VR boxing like me. If you can't get anyone foolish enough to face you in VR boxing on stream, then your only option is to unwittingly make them lose to you in VR boxing. But I can assure you one thing. It's that nothing good is going to happen if you don't punch them in the face. If you don't punch them in the face, nothing good is going to happen. But if you do punch them in the face, they might realize that fire is hot, and they might stop playing with fire. So, and make sure you do it in a way that is legal repercussion free. You got to do it in the setting of like boxing sparring or a boxing match or kickboxing match or an MMA match or a wrestling match or a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu match. You got to do it in settings like that. But whatever you do, don't get yourself arrested over it, because that doesn't lead to anything productive. Getting yourself arrested over it doesn't lead to anything productive, but doing nothing also doesn't lead to anything productive. I can assure you nothing will change if you don't punch them in the face. Nothing will change if you don't punch them in the face, I can assure you that. Because I've been here for years, and I don't have any concurrent chatters. I don't have people who pop in when they get a notification and come here to chat with people. Nope, don't get that. But there's plenty of other people who get that just for having the stream on. So if that isn't any indication to you that people don't need, or if that isn't an indication to you that people need punched in the face, I don't know what to tell you. But obviously do it in a legal way, such as like VR boxing or boxing sparring or a boxing match. But these people need punched in the face, and then maybe they will associate fire with heat. Maybe they'll realize that fire is hot if they get hit enough times. It definitely won't happen if they don't get hit. I can assure you that. I can assure you they won't come to their senses if they don't get hit. It's just a matter of doing it in a legal way. No, it is necessary. Inaction is bad, but I'm talking about doing this in a legal way, so they'd have to consent to it. But these people need to be punched out of the cultural norms that they have attached to their psyche. They need to realize that the people that taught them that this is normal and the people that normalized this to them are stupid, and that the worldview that was placed on them is stupid, and that it has left them vulnerable, because they don't think that they're vulnerable, and they need to realize that they are vulnerable. They've been given a false sense of invincibility, and their false sense of invincibility that is being propped up by the prison industrial complex needs to be challenged. Okay, these people's invisible armor that the police have given them needs to be challenged. The emperor needs to realize that it's wearing no clothes, and you can make the emperor realize that it's wearing no clothes by illegally punching the emperor in the mouth. That's the only way things are going to change. You're not going to change what has been normalized to them unless they realize that they are normalizing risk. That's another way to put it. It's called risk normalization. Um, it means just because the negative outcome hasn't happened yet, you've normalized yourself into thinking that the negative outcome will never happen. That's another way to put it. Is called risk normalization. Smoking cigarettes is an example of normalizing risk. If you're a cigarette smoker, you have normalized the risk of all of the negative outcomes that come from smoking cigarettes just because you haven't personally experienced the negative outcomes of smoking cigarettes. And you can apply that to trolling. People have normalized trolling because they think that they are not capable of personally experiencing the negative repercussions that come from trolling. So we need to wake people up to reality. We need to wake people up to reality, and we need to mandate consequences for trolling, because it is time that we tame the ne'er-do-wells of society, since the police will not do so themselves. This is another example of police inaction and ignorance having negative repercussions on the burger flippers of the world. And I speak for all burger flippers when I say that the burger flippers of the world have had enough of people's disrespect. You know, there's so many burger flippers out there that are streaming. I know they are. I know there's many burger flippers out there that are streaming. And we need to reach the burger flippers of the world. We need to get the burger flippers of the world to subscribe and hear my message. We need to spread the burger flip maxing message on the world. The time is now for the burger flip maxing cult to grow its ranks. We need to enact the burger flip maxing world order, and we need to get all the little burger flippers out there to join the cult of the burger flip maxing in order to live a simpler life. We need to encourage all the burger flippers of the world to disconnect from social media. We need to insulate the burger flippers of the world from the wicked ways of the internet and the internet denizens. We need to insulate every little burger flipper. We need to insulate every little burger flipper out there from the wicked ways of the social media cults that are infested with terrorist and general criminal ne'er-do-wells masquerading as everyday people. We must root out the criminal ne'er-do-wells that have infiltrated all aspects of society, including the police, and round them up in order to create a polite society again. and I'm here to lead the charge in fighting the good fight as head burger flipper maxer in chief. I am head burger flipper maxer in chief. That is my title. You may call me head burger flipper master and chief, not to be confused with the master chief or the commander in chief. I am the burger flipper maxer and chief of the cult of burger flip maxing, and I am here to lead the charge in creating a polite society again. And I am not going to rest until I actually have concurrent chatters. I am sick of turning a stream on and having no one participate in my chat in any way, shape, or form. And I am not going to stop until people show me the respect I deserve. I will literally die before I give up on my dream of being a YouTuber. This is something that you were foolish to not understand. You were foolish to think that I was ever going to stop. I am literally never going to stop until I've shown the respect that I deserve. I will literally die before I give up on my dream of being a YouTuber, and you're not going to determine that I don't have the right to be a YouTuber because I will literally die over it. So you are fools, and you were foolish to think that there was ever going to come a day where I give up on trying to be a YouTuber. There is no amount of harassment you could generate that would make me give up on my dream because I was not raised to be a quitter. So unfortunately for you, I'm literally gonna die before I give up on being a YouTuber. Hate to break it to you, but your wish failed. Your wish of harassing me into not turning a stream on because you're worried about something that I might say has horribly backfired on you, unfortunately for you. So, don't know what you thought was going to happen, but it wasn't what happened. And I don't care how stupid and ugly you think I am. I'm going to die before the day comes where I don't turn on a live stream because you didn't want me to turn on a live stream. Hate to break it to you guys, but I will literally die before I give up on my childhood dream of running a YouTube channel. Hate to break it to you. If I'm gonna be poor and ignored my entire life, I'm literally gonna die attempting to do what I set out to do many years ago, and you're not going to harass me into not doing it, especially since you're too much of a coward to come out here and get smacked in the mouth. Hate to break it to you. But when I was all up in your face, you didn't step out of the vehicle. When I was all up in your guys' face on that one video on the second channel, when I was all up in your guys' face asking you if laughing at me was worth dying over, you guys stayed seated in the vehicle because you guys are a bunch of pussies. So that was a reminder of why I'm the best VR boxer in the world, and why you guys stay seated when I'm in front of you, pointing a camera at your face, asking you if that bullshit was something you want to die over, which you didn't. You guys didn't want to die over it. You guys took your foot off the brake and put your foot on the gas, and you stayed seated in the vehicle. I mean, I hope you guys learned something from that interaction. You know, they always say they always say don't meet your heroes or whatever. You know, you guys must have looked up to me or something, because that interaction clearly didn't go the way you wanted it to. You were clearly hoping, you know, when you started tailgating me like that. You were clearly hoping when you guys started tailgating me like that, that it was going to be some sort of W for you. But, you know, they tell you don't meet your heroes for a reason, and you guys must have looked up to me or something. You guys must have admired me or something, the way that really didn't go the way you wanted it to. Pathetic amount of chats I sick of turning a stream on and having the most brain dead audience. It's you don't know how disheartening it is to know that I'm speaking to people that lack the attention span and the intelligence to effectively communicate with me through a YouTube chat. It's very disheartening to know that I'm speaking to idiots that don't understand anything that I'm saying. So definitely not falling under the treat others the way you want to be treated category when it comes to the way you guys treat me.